Everybody, can you see my screen?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. Okay, so we'll begin. Quickly revise what we did. Okay, as Sujal said. So yesterday we spoke about, oops. Okay, so yesterday we spoke about programming language, right? What is the purpose of programming language? We spoke about Python. We looked at how to install PyCharm, Python. Okay, we did basic programming, right? We started doing programming. Okay, so today we'll continue from where we left. Okay, we'll try to build few programs today. Okay, we'll talk about operators, data types, the usage of operators and data types in Python. Okay, and we'll do few basic programs as well. Okay, so great. Let's get started. Okay. Okay, so this is where we left. Okay, this is what we did yesterday, right? Okay. So I'm going to move this away to, let's say, um, okay. So, okay, so what we'll do is we'll create a file name and we will dump all the programs there so that it is available for all of us, right? So I'm going to say EILS 12 2022, right? And I say, okay, this is our day one program. So I'm going to say day one, okay. And I'll save it here. And of course, we'll continue to add our day two programs here. Okay. Okay. So let's see today. So, okay. So yesterday, we were talking about, okay, we were talking about input, right? And we said that if you input, okay, what happens? And when I run it, this is P1, so we'll click on P1, we run it. So when you run P1, what happens? It is waiting for us to input value, right? Because we haven't, you don't see the exit code 0 or 1. That means Python is waiting for us to enter the value, okay? So I'll enter Sachin and it goes. Okay, so let's build our first program using input, okay? So you have name here, and then I'm going to, okay, and okay. So we also discussed that, okay, here since we don't have anything appearing, correct? When you run it, you don't see anything appearing. So if it is your program, right, or if you have seen the program, you know what to enter, okay? So you know that, okay, I need to enter name. But if you're running somebody else's program, you're running it for the first time, you will get confused, right? What to enter? Should I enter my name or phone number or email ID, right? So it's always mandatory, okay, to add some text here. Okay, something like enter your name. So that when I enter next time, I know that it is the name I need to enter. Okay, great. Now we will also try to enter the marks of 3 subjects for the same person. So I'm going to say marks 1 equal to input, and I say enter marks in subject 1. Okay, and we'll do it for 3 subjects. So I'll just copy this and I will paste it here, and I'll call it as marks 2, marks 3, subject 2, subject 3. Okay, now I'm going to calculate sum. Sum equal to marks 1 plus marks 2 plus marks 3. Okay, everybody clear? So we are taking input. Okay, we are taking input for name, and input 3 other input for marks. Okay, and we are saying sum. Now let me print sum and see what happens. What do we get actually? Okay, so when I say P1 run, so I get enter your name. So let's say I enter my name as Sachin Tendulkar. Okay, marks subject 1, 88, 77, 99. What do you get? You get 88, 77, 99. It has concatenated. Why did it concatenate? It concatenated because it is being read as string. So if you want to type here and I say print type of name, and I'm going to say type of marks 1. Okay, and when you run it, okay, so let's say I say ST778899. What do you notice? You notice that marks is also being read as string. Okay, and name is also being read as string. Okay, so when you use input, okay, when you use input, Python will not be able to know what you want to enter, isn't it? Now, you can enter number at text also, isn't it? So Python will not know, but Python cannot predict, cannot know your mind, cannot read your mind, isn't it? So Python doesn't know whether you want to enter a string value or a integer value or a float value or a complex value or a Boolean value. Python will not know. So Python says, okay, since I don't know what you want to enter, let me convert everything to string. Okay, everything gets converted to string because everything can be converted to string, right? You can convert Boolean to string, you can convert integer number to string, right? But vice versa is not true. Okay, you can convert a string to integer only if it has numbers, right? So if I say num1 equal to 55, right? In this case, 55 is string. We saw yesterday, isn't it? This is a string, right? But I can convert this into integer because it is a number. I can convert it. But if I have to, okay, but if I have to, convert something like this, okay, name1 equal to, let's say, st. Now I can't convert st into integer, isn't it? Okay, st is it's not a number, so it cannot be converted into integer. So that's why what happens. So what happens is, okay, everything is converted into string because we can convert everything to string, right? So please keep this in mind. Okay, they can ask you, why do you think input always has string value? Okay, because Python cannot understand what you want to enter, but since everything can be converted into string, input converts the input that we enter into string. Okay, so now we have to manually convert it into integer, right? Because it's a string. Okay, for name it's fine because name we want as a string only. So name is fine. We don't have to convert string for name because it's already a string. But for integer values, marks has to be integer or float, right? So we cannot, use it that way. We have to convert it into integer or float. Okay. So now if you look at, yesterday we looked at the data types, right? We looked at different data types. Okay. So we discussed data types like string, of course, right? Then we discussed about integer, right? So integer is written as int, right? Then we discussed about float, right? So float is written as float, right? So float is written as float. Then we had what else? Complex and Boolean, right? Complex and Boolean. So these were the 5 data types that we did yesterday, right? These were the 5 data types that we did yesterday. Okay. Now, if you have to, so this is how you remember. If you have to convert anything to string, take this as a function. There's a function str bracket that converts into string. So you can convert whatever value, right? You have integer float into string, can be converted using str function. Okay. And similarly, you can convert anything into integer using int function. So int function also tries to convert into integer. Of course, it cannot convert everything. I just said 55 could be converted, but let's say ABC cannot be converted into integer. But in case you want to convert into integer, you can use int bracket open and close. Similarly, you have float, right? Float can convert into float value. Okay, complex will convert into complex. Bool will convert into bool. So in this case, what I'll do is, since this entire thing is being read as string, okay, and marks here is a string value. Now I will reconvert marks into integer by putting it inside integer function. Okay, is it clear? So what I'm doing is, first I'm reading the marks as input from the user. It will be read as a string. So once you read as a string, now I need to convert into integer, right? So I'll say int of, and int will convert the value that we enter into integer. Okay. You can also do int here itself. Okay, you can do int here itself. Okay, so again, yesterday we discussed print and type. We saw print and type was inside print. So when you have two functions or multiple functions where one function is inside another and that function is again inside something else, that something else is inside another first function, right? So in such cases, always remember the innermost function is called first. Okay, then the outer, then the next outer, finally last outermost function will be called. Okay, so in this case again we are using two functions. We are using input of a function, and then we are using int another function. So using input, we are reading the value from the user, and at the same time I'm using int to convert the input value into integer. Okay, so I'm converting input value, which is string, into integer again. Okay, so now my marks2 is also into integer format. Now I am going to convert this third marks again into integer. So I'll say int here as well. Okay, so now when you run this program, you will see that marks1 is no longer string, but we have converted into marks. So okay, when you read a value, automatically, okay, it gets converted automatically. It gets converted into a string. This is called implicit conversion. Conversion of data type, it is implicit conversion because we did not say string, right? We did not say that convert it into a string. Automatically, it has converted into string. This is implicit conversion. But in this case, we are doing explicit conversion. Okay, it's called explicit because we are forcing it to get into integer format, because by default it is string, implicit is string, but we want in integer format, so we are forcing it to get into integer. Okay, similarly here as well and here also. So now when you run this program, okay, enter your name, let's say Sachin Tendulkar, and I hit enter. Enter marks in subject one. Okay, so subject one again, I'll enter 77, 88, and 99. What happens? You see, this name is string, so you get str, but marks1 is integer because we converted into int, right? Function int, so it is integer. So total marks is now 264. Total marks is now 264. Okay, so now you see the total marks is 264, right? Now I can print it, okay, using a different format, remember? Okay, any question? So Santosh sir, do you have any question? Can we take any questions so far? We have just completed our first program, okay, first main program where we are inputting name and marks, and we are printing the sum of the marks.
Yep. So any question from anyone? You can raise your hand and then we'll quickly go through the question and then after that.
Great. So in the chat, I see everybody is saying great.
Yep.
Okay. Can we write int marks equal to input? No, you cannot write yes. Okay, you cannot write int marks equal to input. Will you please repeat print type name? Okay, I'll repeat print type name. Okay, great. Okay, perfect. Thank you. So, okay, so there's a request to talk about print type again, right? So what is type? Type is it's a function that will give us the data type of marks, isn't it? Type is a function that will give us the data type of marks, right? So now that after I convert marks1 into integer, the data type of marks is integer. So the type will give class int. Now print will print it on the screen. So if you do not give print, it will read as integer, but it's not going to give you output anything, right? But when you print it, you can see it on the screen. So type finds out the data type, finds out the type of data which is stored in marks1. It finds out the data that is stored in marks1. Okay, and then it prints it on the screen. Okay, great. So minus 1.23 is float. Okay, float happens both positive, negative. So it is float only. Minus 1.23 is a float, Deepak. Okay. Perfect.
We are going to the shop, okay?
Okay, great. So now let's revise how to print using, using sum. Before that, okay, let's calculate average. I also need average. So I'll say AVG equal to sum by 3, isn't it? Because number of subjects we have 3. So total value is in sum. So sum by 3 will give us average, right? Now we will use format to print it. Now, okay, so one option is, as I said yesterday, that you can have multiple values in print. You can say name, okay, and then text, scored a total of, okay, then you say sum, comma, scored a total of XYZ marks at an average of AVG, right? So now when I run it, okay, and let me enter Sachin and marks 77, 88, 66. So it says Sachin scored a total of 231 marks at an average of 77%, right? Okay. Now, okay, same thing can be written, because see here, you're writing variable, then comma, then quotation, then comma, quotation, right? It can get confusing. If it is just 1 or 2 variable, then probably it's easy. But when you have 3, 4, 5 variables to write like this, it can become confusing. So what we can do is we can use something called as format string. Okay, it's called F string. F string, which stands for format string. Okay, this is how it works. Print, you put F and quotation. So normal string, normal print will have just the quotation, isn't it? Here you're putting F also along with it. F and string. F and string, okay, will give us the, will make it format string. And I'll tell you how it is different than this. I'm going to copy this entire stuff, okay, the everything that I entered, and I'll put it inside this, okay, and I will remove all the quotation. So format string, so here you see, we are giving multiple quotation, right? This quotation here and here, right? format string will avoid the usage of multiple quotation. Okay, we'll try to avoid the usage of multiple quotation. We'll just use one quotation at the beginning and one at the end. So you have names, code, a total of, okay, sum, marks at an average of this. Now, of course, when you run it, it'll enter everything as it is, right? Because we have put everything in quotation. Okay, here there are some variables. So how will how will f string, okay, know that those are variables? We have to mark it differently, isn't it? We have to mark it differently for f string to know that we are handling, or we are working about variables. So you put a curly bracket here. Okay, total of curly bracket here. Okay, and average of avg, curly bracket here. So curly bracket, or your flower bracket, is a way of telling to the f string that these are variables, and you need to replace these values with its values, actual value. Okay, you need to replace the variable name with actual value. Okay, that's how we indicate and we tell to Python. Okay, now when you run it, and okay, so let me run it again. So enter your name. I say Virat. Now enter margin subject 1, 66, 66, 77. Okay, so you see that Virat scored a total of 209 marks at an average of 69, right? Both of these lines are printing exact same stuff, right? Now, if you want to add percentage, of course, you can add percentage here, right, to make it percentage. Now, one more thing you see, this average, since it's a float value, right, we are getting 66.66666. Okay, it is giving up to 16 digit by itself. We don't want that. Okay, we want to restrict it to 1 decimal place or 2 decimal place, right? So how do we do it? So again, average, this is the value that we need to control, isn't it? So I'm going to say average colon. Okay, this is way to where you can handle the number of decimal places by the output. So here you have average, okay, colon. So colon will divide the value, okay, or the value that we put in the curly bracket into two parts. One, something on the left of colon, right, and something on the right of colon. So colon is dividing. On the left of colon, you give the variable that you want to print, whose value you want to print, right? So you have variable avg, and we want to print the value of avg, isn't it? So we say avg. Okay, so we'll get the value of avg. After colon, right of colon, it is about formatting the output. We are trying to format the output. Okay, so here I want 2 decimal places after, I want only 2 decimal places, isn't it? So I'll say 0.2. Point indicates decimal place, and 2 indicates that I want 2 decimal places after decimal. Okay, 2 values after decimal. If you want 1 value after decimal, you say 0.1. If you want 3, you say 0.3. Okay, and I'll put F, indicate that this value has to be float type. Okay, now when you run it, okay, so I'll say Rohit 66, 66, 77. So you see here it says 69.67%. Okay, any questions so far?
Question from Sony in the group chat. Yeah. So
Sony. Okay, so is is parse int function equal to int function. Okay, so parse int is different, Sony. Okay, we'll not talk about it right now. Okay, let's go step by step. Most of them are new to programming. We'll slowly go to that level. Okay, we'll go there. Okay, we don't have type of type. Okay, we only have type, right? Type will give us the data type. Yes. Okay, so answer to Roshan is yes, Roshan. Yes, you can do that. Okay, so of course, guys, see there are different. Okay, Deepak साहब हिंदी इंग्लिश दोनों में बोलिए, ठीक है, दोनों में बोलेंगे. See, it is not, or there is not only one way of doing it. ठीक है, आप एक ही चीज को दो तीन तरीके से भी कर सकते हैं. अगर आपको मालूम है तो बहुत अच्छा. ठीक है, जिनको नहीं मालूम है एक भी तरीका, उनके लिए ये काफी अच्छा रहेगा. ठीक है, तो मैं अभी एक पर्टिकुलर फ्लो में बोल रहा हूँ, एक पर्टिकुलर हिसाब से बोल रहा हूँ. पहले अपन धीरे से जाएंगे, विल कवर बेसिक एंड स्लोली विल गेट इनटू सेकंड लेवल. ओके, सो आई ऑलवेज लाइक टू से लेवल 1, लेवल 2, लेवल 3 ऑफ प्रोग्रामिंग. अभी हम लोग लेवल 1 पे हैं, बिल्कुल बेसिक लेवल पे हैं. ओके, फिर लेवल 2 पे जाएंगे, फिर लेवल 3 पे जाएंगे, तो हम और भी चीजें देखेंगे, और भी चीजें सीखेंगे. राइट, अभी सबसे सिंपल, सबसे इजी तरीका जो है वो हम डिस्कस कर रहे हैं. ओके, सो दीपक साहू क्वेश्चन राइट हो गया ना? रोशन, ओके ग्रेट रोशन, थैंक यू. ओके, awesome. वैशाली, आपको जो तरीका यूज करना है उससे यूज कीजिए. It doesn't matter which IDE you use. You use IDL, you use PyCharm, VS Code. It's up to you. Okay, there's no restricting. The code that we'll talk about, the content that we talk about, is same irrespective of which editor or which tool you use. Okay, our focus is to learn Python, and we'll try to learn as much as Python. ID will change. Okay, your company, when you join a company, your company might ask you to use something else, so you will use something else, right? If you don't know, you have to learn, that's fine. But main thing is Python is what we are learning, and our focus is on learning Python. You can use it in your own IDE. Okay, absolutely no problem. Okay, so quickly we'll revise what we did. We looked at how to convert the input value, which is by default a string, into integer. Then we calculated sum, we calculated average, and then we printed them together, okay, in one single print using format string. So advantage of using format is that you don't have to, break the quotation, add comma again, break the quotation, add comma again, continue with quotation, all those things we don't have to do it. We can put entire variable in one single quotation. So it is much easier when you are handling multiple variables using print. If you are handling multiple variables using print, this method helps. Okay, and we also talked about, we did not convert, we just spoke about that we can convert into any format, okay, using these functions, that we're using the class name. If class name is int, you can convert into int using int function. If class name is complex, you can convert into complex using complex function. So these 5 functions are there. So we have so far discussed about these 5 functions. We discussed, we have not used it, but we discussed. But we have extensively used print, input, and now type. Okay, okay. So so when you talk about okay, I just need to see what we did yesterday, right? So we did our arithmetic operators yesterday, right? Okay, little bit of arithmetic operators, right? Okay, now let's say I have to write a program to find average of a rectangle box. How will I do? Okay, so this is how we found total marks and average. I need to find average of a rectangle. So first you need to read the input from the user, like the length input. So you'll say len, okay, or length equal to input of, okay, enter the length GTH of the rectangle, right? Now we need to read the breadth of the rectangle, isn't it? So you'll say input right? But the problem is these things will be read as in string. You need to convert them into either input integer or your float, right? You have to convert it into float or integer, but we generally expect size to be an integer, so we'll convert into integer itself. What is area? Area equal to length into breadth, right? And your perimeter equal to, okay, 2 into, okay, your length plus breadth, right? So it is length plus length plus breadth, okay, adding all the length and breadth. You have two lengths and two breadths, right, in rectangle. So you need to add all four values. Instead, you can say 2 into L plus B, right? So you get perimeter. Now what I can do is I can, create my print statement, something like this. Print f the rectangle with dimensions length and breadth. So the rectangle with dimensions length and breadth has an area of area, right? And perimeter of perimeter. Okay. Now when you run it, name Sachin, let's say 8888 and 77. Now you see here, enter the length of rectangle, I enter 50. Enter breadth of rectangle, okay, I enter 30. Okay, so when you enter 50 and 30, area, see here, rectangle with dimension 50 and 30 has an area of 50 into 30 is 1500, and perimeter 50 plus 30 into 2, 80 into 2 is 160, right? So this is how you can do basic programming. I hope everybody, especially those who have not done programming before, I'm sure there will be many people who have not done programming before. Did you understand this concept? Those who have done programming before, for you, it is very similar to what you would do in Java or C++. But at least for those who are doing programming for the first time, any questions on this? Did you understand clearly? If you're able to do these two programs, that means you have taken the first step. This is the first step of programming. And if you're doing it for the first time, welcome to the programming world. So, okay, I'll talk about Mahmood. Mahmood wants me to explain about the F string. I'll talk about it. Okay, great. No other question? Float will have decimal point, integer will not have decimal point, Muskan. Okay. Float will have decimal point, integer will not have decimal point. Otherwise, there's no difference between them. 5 is integer, 5.0 is float. Okay. So, Mahmood, if you look here, okay, if you in normal circumstances, here what I'm trying to do, I'm trying to print variables and the text. Okay, I'm trying to print variables and the text, right? So your variables, you cannot put it in quotation, right? Because if you put in quotation, it will be printed as it is. So the variables have to be printed outside quotation. And the way I want to print, the way I want to display the output is where I have to use, variable, then text, then variable, then text, then variable, then text, variable, text, so on, alternatively. Okay, so if you're using alternatively, one option is that you use normal print. You put your whenever you have to put variable, you put variable. Whenever you have to put text, you put text, right? Like that, it will work. But when you have many variables, 3, 4, 5 variables, then it becomes difficult. Closing quotation, again opening quotation, writing the variable, again closing, opening, right? It can become little tedious. So instead, what we do is we use F string. So F string is nothing but it's a way to improve your normal print output. That's all. So F string, okay, um, uh, doesn't require us to have variables outside the quotation. In normal circumstances, your variables have to be outside quotation. So if you put variables outside quotation, then only it will work. If you put inside the quotation, then it will be treated as a text only. It is not treated as a variable. So what f string says is, okay, you put everything in one quotation, but still they need to know, f string need to know which is variable and which is text. So it says you put everything together, but you put your variables, okay, within flower bracket. So if we put within flower bracket, it knows that, okay, this is a variable which we need to replace with the value and not print as it is, not print as it is. That's why wherever you have variables, it is always in curly bracket and it replaces and prints the value of that. Okay. Sneha, समझ में आया अभी तक? Okay. आपको कुछ समझ में नहीं आया तो प्लीज बताइए. Okay, thanks महमूद. स्नेहा, आपको समझ में आया अभी तक क्या हम डिस्कस कर रहे हैं? स्नेहा इज आस्किंग अस टू टॉक इन हिंदी. ओके, सो बीच बीच में मैं बोलता रहूंगा हिंदी में. Okay, no. So first way, you cannot do it like that, Kushal. The first way of printing, you cannot directly do the truncate, but of course there are other functions. We don't want to use functions. Okay, we'll so there are functions like round, truncate, seal, floor. Okay, round function will run it off. Okay, but we don't want to use round function. Kushal, okay. So Sneha, हाँ, अगर आपको मैं ट्राई करूंगा हिंदी में बोलने के लिए, लेकिन अगर कहीं भी आपको लगता है कि नहीं समझ में नहीं आया, हिंदी में बताना है, तो प्लीज आप पिंग करके बोल दीजिए कि ये पोर्शन हिंदी में बताइए, तो आई विल एक्सप्लेन. ठीक है. और मेरा लैंग्वेज जो यूज कर रहा हूँ कोई हाई फंडू लैंग्वेज नहीं है ना, बहुत सिंपल सा इंग्लिश लैंग्वेज है, बहुत सिंपल वर्ड. ऐसे वर्ड्स तो हम लोग हिंदी में भी यूज करते हैं, करेक्ट. तो अगर कोई प्रॉब्लम हो तो प्लीज बताइए. ओके, कोई भी अगर कुछ समझ में नहीं आ रहा है हिंदी में, तो बिल्कुल कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं, मैं हिंदी में बता सकता हूँ, मैं हिंदी में समझा सकता हूँ. Perfect. Okay, great. So we'll continue. Of course, as I said, right, same thing can do multiple ways, so that's okay. If you know more than one way, very good. Okay. Okay. So okay, so this is how you print string. Okay. Variables as a within quotation. Okay. This is how you can print variables as a quotation. Okay. Perfect. और ये भी हमने देख लिया आउटपुट कैसे प्रिंट करते हैं. तो हमने सिंपल सा प्रोग्राम लिया है, लेंथ ब्रेड्थ लिया है इनपुट यूजर से, और फिर हमने इसको मल्टीप्लाई करके एरिया और पैरामीटर निकाला है. ओके, नेक्स्ट टॉपिक. ओके, वेल लेट मी मूव दिस अवे सो दैट इट डजंट interfere into our work, is called operators. Okay, so there are different types of operations that you can perform on different data types. You can't perform everything on same data type. For example, in you can't expect to add two integer, right? But you can combine two integer. दो अगर string value है, दो string value combine कर सकते हैं, लेकिन integer को ही add कर सकते हैं, float को ही add कर सकते हैं. We can't add string values like integer. We can't add string value like integer. But if you want to add string together, it will concatenate. So that's the property of string values. Okay, so we will look at different operations that can be performed on numbers, and on Boolean values. Next session, we will maybe after a couple of days, we will talk about string. What are the different operations that we can perform on string? So one full day, 1 hour, we'll spend only on integer type. Okay, great. So let's see what are the different mathematical operations. Math operation, or we call them arithmetic operation. TION. Okay, we also call them as arithmetic operations. Okay. So let's say I have value 1 equal to 10 and I have value 2 equal to 3. Okay. So I'm going to say print val1 plus val2. Right. This is your basic arithmetic operation plus, right? Plus जो है हमारा basic operation. इसी तरह से हम दो नंबर को plus कर सकते हैं. We have already added plus into division, right? ठीक है. Next operation is, so if you say val1 plus val2, what do you get? Okay, what do you get? Yes, exactly. So see guys, okay, so there's a request to teach in English. English is our main language, okay? So don't worry, we are not going to cover anything extra in Hindi. So Hindi is only for those who cannot understand. So some difficult sentence, difficult word will be translated, okay? But main language of ours is going to be English, okay? So don't worry about it, okay? And we also are going to use simple English so that anybody from north to south, east to west can understand. Okay, so you have val1 plus val2. Now, again, I said next is val1 minus val2. Okay, so val1 is 10 plus 3, 13. Minus is 10 minus 3, 7. Similarly, you can do multiplication division, right? Multiplication division also no problem. Value 1 and value 2 is 10 by 3, which is 3.333333, right? So you get 3.33333. That's your division. Okay. Apart from these 4 basic mathematical operation, there are few more operations that exist and you need to know. Very helpful. Okay. So let me paste it. So you have double star and you have double slash. Okay. What does double star do? Double star creates power of, okay, power of val2. Okay, so it takes the second value and that is a power. So here you have 10 as value 1 and 3 as value 2. So what do you get? You get 10 to the power 3. You get 10 to the power 3. So value of 10 star 3 will be 10 cube. Okay, it creates 10 cube because second value is the power. So 10 star 3 will make it 10 cube, which is 1000. And this double slash is called integer division. Okay, integer division will result in integer value only. So when we do this here, you get 3.33. Double slash will see I don't want to get into float. I will only keep integer value. So the output of this is going to be 3 only, not 3.33. Okay, so this is called integer division operation. Okay, it is also very helpful. Now we'll talk about, okay, something called as modulo. It's called modulo. Okay, we write percentage. The sign that you see here is percentage sign, obviously. Okay, but it's called modulo, and it does not, okay, it does not convert into percentage, but it, okay, it actually gives us the reminder. So when you divide, when you perform division, okay, so the number that is getting divided is called dividend. That is dividing is called divisor, right? Divisor, dividend. And then, okay, the remainder is the one that is left down, right? So in non-decimal divisions, okay, So it is a remainder that you see down. So if you divide 10 by 3, you get remainder as 1. If you divide 55 by 8, what is the remainder? 8 into 3, 24. So 1 is the remainder. Okay. So modulo percentage sign will give us remainder. Okay. So if you divide 10 by 3, 3 into 3 is 9. Remainder is 1. Right? So 3 to 3 is 9. 10 minus 9 is 1. Isn't it? So when you say modulo, it will give you the remainder of the data. So here if I run it, last value you see, it is 1. Okay. So this is how you can do power. Okay. You can do integer division. You can do remainder. You can calculate remainder. Now you tell me, I need to find square root of 4. So using what I just told you, can we find square root? Can we do square root? Answer is yes, we can do square root. Okay. Square root is nothing but power of half. So if I say here print 16, okay, star 0.5. Okay. 0.5 is 1 by 2. So square root of 16 is 4. Okay. Okay. So these are your mathematical operations. Cannot stand the last condition, remainder, round figure, 1000. Yes. Okay, great. शनि कुमार बिल्कुल हम हिंदी यूज करेंगे जहां जहां भी डिफिकल्ट है. ओके. और कहीं भी अगर मुश्किल है तो हमसे पूछिए. वी विल आंसर यू इन हिंदी. Okay, great. Yes. So I think everybody has understood. Shruti, I don't understand your question. Shruti says can't understand last conditions. I don't know what you know last condition. Last condition, if we're talking about this, it is remainder. Okay, we are trying to find remainder. Okay, if you divide by number, so how do we do remainder? Okay, let's say you have number 10 and you're dividing by 3. So 3 is a 9. Okay, this is your remainder. Okay, great. Bhagwat, okay, same thing. Yeah, okay, great. Okay, so coming back to our program here. So what we just completed is your arithmetic operators. We call them arithmetic or mathematical operators. Okay, next important set of operators are your comparison operators. We need to compare the values. Okay, so comparison operators. Comparison operators are like equal to. See, when we say equal to, it means that we are comparing the values. Okay, so if I say is it equal, then you have a not equal to. This is how you put not equal to. Less than or equal to. Okay, greater than or greater than equal to. Right. So sorry. Okay, so these are different comparison operators. We are comparing the values, right, which is lower, which is higher. Okay, so the input can be, mostly it is integer, but it can be string also. Integer and string, it can be anything. Okay, but output of comparison operators, so input can be anything, but output operator, okay, input anything, but output will always be a bool value. Okay, input can be anything. We can compare two values. We can compare two string. So today we'll just compare two values, but later we'll see how to compare strings also. Okay, but output is always Boolean value. Output is either true or false. Okay, nothing else, no third value possible. No two true and false also not possible. 50% true, 50% false. No. 70% false, 30% true. No. It is either true or false. Only one value out of the two. Okay. That's how comparison operators work. So let's see an example here. I will give same a equal to 10 and b equal to 3, and I can say check, or let me give one more value, c equal to 10. So I have a equal to 10, b equal to 3, and c equal to 10. Okay, I want to compare if print a equal to b, and if a not equal to b, not equal to b. So see, two things. One, the equal to sign, checking equal to sign is 2 equal to. Okay, so when you see 2 equal to, it means they're comparing it. Okay, they're comparing, is it equal to? It's a comparison operator. Okay, is it equal to? But if you see only 1 equal to, it is assignment operator. That means you're assigning some value. So single operator is for assignment, double operator is for asking question, is it equal to? Is it equal to? Remember that. Okay, many times what we do as a mistake is, if we have to write single equal to, we write double equal to. Okay, but that is done rarely. More what we do is, wherever we want to compare value, we write only single equal to. No, single equal to is not true, because single equal to is used to assign the value, right? So if you say a equal to 5, it will assign whatever be the value of a, doesn't matter. Value of a can be string, boolean, float, whatever. But the moment you say single equal to, whatever you are putting in the right side, that same value will be put in the left side. But when you say double equal to, okay, it will check the value of the left variable and then says, no, 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 they are different. No, 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 they're equal, right? So equal or different is what we are checking here using double equal to. So A is 10, B is 3. So obviously A is not equal to B. So you get false here. Line number 20, next one, it says print A not equal to B. A is 10 and B is 3. So obviously A is not equal to B. So you get true. So when you run it, output of A equal to B will give you false. But A not equal to B will give you true. Okay, false, true. Similarly, you can try for, you can try for A and C also. A equal to C, answer is true, because A and C are same, they have 10 value. A not equal to C, false, because they are same. So not equal to will give you false. Okay, so this is called comparing operator. We are comparing. Similarly, let's try to do other 4. Okay, so I'm going to say A greater than B. Okay, A greater than equal to B, A less than equal to less than, right? Less than equal to C, or A less than C. Okay, now you tell me. Okay, these values are not correct, right? Let's do it. Is A greater than B? What do you say, guys? Is A greater than B? Yes, A is greater than B, right? So see, I'm seeing your messages. You want me to talk about more examples. So yes, guys, we have just started. Today is second day only. We'll do examples. Okay, so be with me. We'll do a lot of examples. Okay, we will do examples. Okay, so Mahmood, okay, we will do examples. Yes, A modulo 2 define more examples with A equal to 30, value equal to 20. You can do that your own, Mahmood. Okay, it's the beauty of this programming is, okay, you have the computer, you have the knowledge now, and you run it. Okay, so do not worry about it. You run it. Okay, you run it and you get the answer, Mahmood. Can you do that, please, for me? Can you take various values and do it for me, Mahmood? And if you do not get answer, or if you face any problem, ping us. Okay, so as I said, best way is learning by yourself. My job is to train you, okay, so that you don't get any question. Okay, I can tell you all the nitty-gritties. Okay, Even if you have questions, you can ask me and I can help you to answer, right? But if you have to master it, you have to do it, correct? I cannot be doing same 10 things on same example, right? I can give you an example how it is done, and then I can I can even write a program for you, but I can't write all the programs, isn't it? So please practice, Mehmood, please practice. And if you have any questions, do let me know. Okay. So great. The question is great. Okay. So try to solve it. Okay. Now moving back to our discussion. Yes, most of you are saying true. So yes, it is true because A is greater than B. A is 10, B is 3. Now is A greater than equal to B? Of course, it is greater than equal to B. Now let me make it as C and then let's see. Is A greater than equal to C? What do you say? Is A greater than equal to C? False, 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 false. Okay. No, it is equal to also, right? Okay. So yes, A is not greater than C, but equal to, it is equal to. So greater than equal to means either it has to be greater than or equal to. Even one condition is met, it is met. Okay. So now when you say A as 10 and of course C as um, okay, 10, both are 10. So they are okay equal to. So this will also be true. Okay. So A is greater than B for sure. A is greater than no, but equal to. So this is also true. So both of this will be true. Okay. Now you can run it and see. Okay. These two are true. Now look, let's look at the last one, or second last and last one. A less than equal to C. A is less than no. A is no. A is not less than, but A is equal to C, right? So it becomes true. Okay. It becomes true because A is not less than C, agreed, but A is equal to C, and equal to sign is also there. So A becomes equal to C and you get a true. Okay. Now the last condition is A less than C. Obviously, A is not less than C. A is not less than C. So in this case, this is false. Okay. So this is how we perform comparison operators. Any doubt here? Okay. Okay. So I need, yes, 10 is equal to 10.0, Sony. You're right. 10 is equal to 10.0, but 10 is not equal to 10.1, but 10 is equal to 10.1. Okay. Perfect. No doubts. Great. Now, one more last thing we'll do before we end. Okay. Just I need 5 minutes of your time. Please be with me. So I'm going to talk about logical operators. Okay. I'm going to talk about logical operators. Logical operators means, okay, where you're applying and or not. Okay. So logical operators are and or not. What happens when you apply and or not? So I'll take one example. My prediction, I'm making prediction, and I'm saying, okay, I'm saying Sachin and Sehwag. Okay, Sachin and Sehwag will open the batting for India. So I say Sachin and Sehwag will open the batting. This is a prediction. Sachin and Sehwag will open the batting for India. Now, actually, what happened? Okay, Sachin and Dravid. Dravid. Sachin and Dravid. Okay. So prediction of what I made is that Sachin and Sehwag will open the batting for India. I'm saying Sachin and Sehwag. But actually what happened? Sachin and Dravid opened. Now you tell me, my prediction is right or wrong? My prediction is right or wrong? Please answer. Wrong. Yes. Yes, my prediction is wrong. Correct. It's wrong because I'm saying and मतलब I'm taking commitment for both. जब मैं and बोलूंगा इसका मतलब क्या होता है, मैं ये भी करूंगा और वो भी करूंगा. मैंने बोला मैं नहीं, सहवाग भी करेगा और सचिन भी करेगा. दोनों के लिए मैंने कमिटमेंट लिया था लेकिन एक ही ने किया. So my assumption or my prediction is wrong. Okay, when you're talking about and, you are saying that you will do both. Okay, when I say I will take this also, I will take that also, I will take that also, that means I want all the three. Okay, even if one is not met, entire thing is wrong. Okay, so and all the condition has to be true. So if it is true and true, true. But if it is true and false, false. False and true will also be false. False and false will also be false. You don't have to remember all these. If you remember this example, remember, you said and Sehwag and Sachin will open, but only Sachin opened, Sehwag did not open. So your prediction is wrong. Okay, because in and we take commitment for both, but only one happened, so it is wrong. Okay, now let me give another example. Sachin or Sehwag will open. I said Sachin or Sehwag will open. I said Sachin or Sehwag will open. But actually what happened? Sachin and Dravid open. Now in this case, am I wrong or correct? Result? Okay, prediction is wrong. Okay, in this case, tell me, what do you think? Correct. Okay, in this case, I'm correct. I'm saying Sachin or Sehwag, both Sachin or Sehwag will open. I'm not taking responsibility for both. I'm taking responsibility for only one person. Either this will happen or that will happen. Okay, you give me two sweets to eat. I said, no, I will eat either this or that. Okay, but what if both turns out to correct? That also fine. Okay, so in or, even if one condition is true, entire thing is true. Remember this. Okay, when you say and, everything has to be true to be true. But when it is or, even one condition is true, it is true. Even one condition is true, it is true. So if you have 100 wrong condition, 100 false condition, and you have one correct condition, even then or will make it correct. Or is used for, okay, checking either this or that. Okay, so in this case, the whole result is prediction is correct because I am taking only commitment for one. Okay, so now let me ask you a question. Okay, and you tell me what happens. So I'm saying 5 greater than 3 and 2 less than 6, or 8 equal to 9, and okay, this is how you write, by the way, in Python. This is how you write and A and D all small, not capital. A and D all small, OR all small. Okay, and I say and 7 not equal to 9, or 5, okay, not equal to 7, and 10 equal to 10, or 4 less than 5. Okay, let's say I have this statement. Okay, so see, the comparison operator will also give you logical value, right, or the Boolean value. So see, in logical operator, the input has to be Boolean and output is also Boolean. Okay, input is also Boolean in logical, output is also Boolean. Let's try to solve this. Okay, now what do we get here? So what I'm doing is, let me take this and solve it in next step. So when I say 5 greater than 3, is it true or false? Okay, 5 greater than true, it is true. So I'll put it as true here. Okay, leave and. 2 less than 6, true or false? It is true. Okay, 8 equal to 9. True or false? Right, Kaushal. Okay, it is false. 7 not equal to 9. True or false? True. Kaushal is right. Kaushal is on fire. He's getting all right. Correct. It is true. Is 5 not equal to 7? Again, Kushal, again, he is the first one to answer. Yes. Not equal. So true. Is 10 equal to 10? This time Karthik and Kushal almost same time. Okay, it is true. Is 4 less than 5? Kushal, again Kushal. Wow, Kushal, you are the first one. Fastest finger first. You can win fastest finger first. Yes, guys, everybody is answering. Okay, so first what we did was we evaluated comparison operator, right? So we got this because we know that and or can only work on Boolean values. So now we have Boolean values. Okay, now we have and or combination. Okay, so remember when you have and or, we always do and first. And is done first. And is like your multiplication, and or is like your addition. Okay, just remember in back of your mind. It's not exactly same, but it's similar in nature. So when you have multiplication and addition, we do first multiplication, then we do addition. Bodmas rule. Same. So as per that rule, we have to perform and operation first, then or operation. Okay. So I will take this and I will perform this. And TNT, tell me what is TNT? Ankita got it right first. True and true is true. True and true is true, right? So this becomes true. Okay, now next and or leave it because first and needs to be solved. F and T, false. Perfect, Ankita. Okay, this time Ankita is on fire. Okay, so it is false. Now let's look at next and TNT. Oh, Sahil. Okay, TNT is true, right? So or and is all and is solved. Now let's go and solve or. T or F? True, yes. Okay, Atul is right first. T or F, okay, first, okay, true, okay, because or we said even if it is one true, entire thing will be true. So T or F is T. Now T or T, Karthik again, okay, T or T has to be T, right? Now again you have T or T. T or T is T. So the entire result is true. So when I run this, okay, you see the last answer is true. Okay, I can write here something like logical operator. Okay, and when you run it, okay, you see true here, right? So this is how logical will work. Okay, so we'll stop here, guys. This is what we had planned for today. Tomorrow we'll have couple of topics and then we'll do a lot of programs on these. Okay, any questions? How was the session? Was it interesting?
You can raise your hand. I'll unmute you so you can just talk.
Yes.
Anybody wants to talk? Raise your hand. Yes, Shruti. You can unmute yourself and then you can talk. Shruti, Swati.
Yes, sir. It's good.
Okay, great. Thank you. Any question you have for us?
No, sir.
Perfect. Thank you. Okay, so no question means either you understood everything, which is good, or you understood nothing. I hope it's not the second case.
Yes,
It's the
yes.
first case.
Understand all.
Perfect. Great. Thank you. Thank you. So
Sir,
we are
that is awesome.
okay. Thank you. See, we are assuming that most of us here may not know programming, right? So we have to go from that level. Okay, even if you know, just be with us. Okay, we will slowly will go. Yes, Sujal, you can do on mobile. Okay, yesterday we discussed, right? Collab. You can open Collab and you can do
Hello, sir.
programming in Collab. Yes.
Yes. Do we use any type of symbol for and or
Not
in
here.
the Python?
Okay. No, not in logical operators. operator. Okay. Yes, we use it for bitwise operator, but not for logical. Logical is A and D only.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Sure. Perfect, guys. Okay, great. Okay, so yes, we will see you tomorrow, same time. Okay, and we'll learn something new tomorrow as well. Thank you
So,
so much.
thank you all. So yeah, so tomorrow the same time we'll again start the class. So you can join at the time on the time and then yeah.
Excuse me, sir.
Yes.
It was a really very great lecture.
Thank you.
Hello.
Yes.
Yes,
Yes.
go ahead.
Yes,
Yes, sir.
Vipul, go ahead. Yeah.
Yeah. I am audible.
Yes.
Yes.
It was really a great lecture, and sir, I have only one question. Will you teach the advanced level means the Django framework in
Not
this?
included in this. Okay. So we, as I told earlier, also yesterday, also we had some questions here. This is on. We are focusing on Python programming, core Python programming. So we will talk about advanced Python topics like error handling and UI and multi-threading, but we are not going into any specific direction. We are not getting into web framework direction. We are not going to cover Django Flask. We are not getting into data science. So we'll not cover NumPy, Pandas, and others. Okay. Focus is on core Python, which is required for you to get a job as a Python developer. Okay. But we do
Okay.
have courses, and that is not included as per this program that we are running.
But you have a courses on
Yes.
this.
Yes. So we have a courses for each and every technical, like so almost we have more than 65 technical courses, and
Okay.
definitely we will talk about all the courses in coming days as well. Yeah. But
Yes, sir. Because I am really eager to learn a Django.
yeah, definitely we will talk about it as well. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay,
Thank you, sir, and thank you for giving me a chance to speak.
sure.
Thank you, sir.
Do
Thank
get
you.
your friends also. Okay, if you enjoy it, get your friends also.
Yes, sir.
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah. Hi.
Thank you.
Sir, the session is very good and doubtful.
Yeah, hi Manisha, Swati. I think you can speak one by one. So yes, Manisha.
Sir, about clearing session.
Yeah.
Good session today.
Thank you, Manisha.
Thank you.
Okay, so I think what we can do that we can close today's session, and tomorrow again we can start session at 4 p.m. So please join on time so we can start the session on time. Yeah, and the recorded video will be uploaded on again YouTube. So we'll share all the details in our WhatsApp group, our Telegram group. So be part of that group as well. If you haven't joined Telegram group yet, so please join that group as well so you can get the regular updates. So thank you all for today's class and for your time. Thank you.
Thank you so much, everyone. Take care. Bye.